Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia and I have been on data science internship with Oeson Global, and I'm here to present to you my second project. And this project is on data science jobs and salary analysis. Now, this presentation is for those who are looking to employ staffs in the data field or in the data sector, or someone who is looking to get a job, or you want to move from one job to another. So if you are one of these categories, you need to stay tuned as I move you through the slides so that you can be able to see the amazing insights I was able to discover from this data set. We have the second slide here and we have the agenda, which is on the second slide. So I'll first of all be telling you about myself, because of course you need to know who is presenting this amazing insight to you, and then I have to tell you the overview, the introduction about the data set itself, and then I have to tell you, I have to discuss with you the analysis I was able to gather from this data set, and then I'll give you the key takeaway, the implications, and then the call to actions. Meet Cynthia, the presenter. My name is Cynthia Udoye, and I am the data science analyst at Stack Solutions Co., a company revolutionizing sales, activations, operations, account management, and merchandising services in the UK through data-driven strategies. My journey in data began with a solid foundation in mathematics, and I'm currently running my master's degree in data science at the University of Hertfordshire, and I'm at the same time using the weekend to run my internship with Oeson in data science. This is a little background about me and how I started my career journey. So I'm just gonna move in to tell you more about the projects that we are presenting today, and enough about me. For this presentation on the data science job market, if you can visualize the landscape of opportunities, from the range of job types and salaries to the work environment and where these jobs are located, and see these elements and see how these elements come together to shape career paths and business strategies, then this exploration is not just worth your attention, it is essential for navigating the future of data science employment. The overview for this project explores the data science job market, focusing on job types, salaries, work settings, experience level, employment type, and job location to provide insights that help job seekers and employers make better career and hiring decisions. So this data set was extracted from the famous job portal that explains the job status of various data related job posted during the year starting from 2020 to 2023, and then I have about 9,355 rows of data and 12 columns, and the columns are more of like the work year is a structured data. So I have the work year, I have the experience level, I have the employment type, I have the work setting, I have the salary in USD, I have the location where the company is, that is the location for the job post for the company, and then I also have the company size. Moving on, the methodology that I use for this project, the data sets overview, like I said before, was a data that was extracted from a famous job portal, and it's just a data science job posting. So the analysis was on this data science job posting with the salaries, and then the visualization techniques that I employed pie charts, histogram, bar plots to showcase job types, salaries, and location, and I use Python code for this analysis. And then the pattern of the extraction, I aim to identify meaningful patterns and trends from the visualized data. I used Colab to run the Python code. So the first thing I did was to import the necessary libraries, which is going to help me have a better visualization and analysis on the data set. So after that, I went further into reading my data set into the Colab, and then I was able to see that I have 9,355 rows of data and I have 12 columns. And I went further into using the function describe to be able to view the statistical parts, the statistical view of my data set. And then I was able to see the 25 percentile, the minimum value, the mean, the median, and the maximum value as well, which was on my numerical column. So I went further to confirm from my tutor that gave me the data set if she's okay with the fact that I have this particular value on the minimum and I have this particular value on the maximum, and then she said it's okay. So that proves that my data set has no outliers. From what I can see, my data set has no outliers. So I decided to dive deep into the data set to see if I have any non-values, because I needed to do some cleaning of my data before I start visualizing the data set. So after the cleaning, I checked for non-values, and then I saw that there was no non-values, and my data set is cleaned and ready to be ready for me to perform the visualization on the data set. So the first thing I did was to look into the years of the job post. I decided to go on the analysis on the job post to see how the job post has been across the years, starting from 2020 to 2023, and then I used a line chart for that. And you can see from our beautiful visual here that as the year grows, the job posting also increases. And if you notice, from the year 2022 there was a very huge increase in the job posting to the year 2023, and I believe that as time goes on, the job posting will keep on increasing because the request for data field jobs is really increasing in our current state right now. And then, so looking at this visual, we can see that the job post is actually increasing. And then I move further into analyzing the data set by the year, based on the experience level, the employment type, the work setting, because I was able to see, and I used stack chart for that, so that I can be able to say in a particular year how many job posts we have that the job post was requesting for maybe senior level or executive level, and again to see if the job post was also for a full-time, or to see if the work setting was for remote or in-person. And then the visual here tells me a lot, that even as the years goes by, it still tells me that the job post was increasing. And irrespective that the job post was increasing, I can see that for the year 2021, based on the experience level, that the senior level was also increasing, that the job post was mainly more of for the senior roles, but around the year 2021 it was more of the mid-level roles. And from there I can see mid-level, I can see senior, and then from there the senior was increasing, the senior roles were increasing. And if you move to the employment type, you can see that almost all the whole job posts, based on this data that was extracted from the famous data portal, from the famous job portal, based on this data set, and most of the posting was for full-time role. And then for the work setting here, I can also see that also most of the job posting was also for in-person role. So the company prefers the staff to come into the office and work. And we also have little for remote work, as you can see, but for the in-person is much higher. The number of job posted for an opportunity that requires someone to come into the office to work is much higher. So if you are someone that's looking into securing a job, you should be able to use this to strategize your plan, to know that okay, most jobs that is being posted, is for jobs that they want someone to come into the office and work, or it's for the senior role. So I need to upgrade my experience, I need to grow more, I need to improve in my career path so I can be able to get a senior role. And then you should also know that it's a full-time opportunity. So it's something that if you are moving into the career tech and you're seeking for a job in that field, you need to give it your time, knowing that if I'm going to get a job, then I should be ready to take it. I should be ready to work for full time. I should be able to work for a senior level, and then I should be able to work in person, that is going to the office and work. So if I can be settled with this in mind, then I have a lower percentage of securing a job. And then moving into the next slide, here I was also able to dice it based on the average salary, because if you are trying to look for a job, I believe you should be also looking at the salary part as well. So working on the average salary based on the experience level, employment type, and work setting, here we can see that the executive level earns more salary, followed by the senior level, the mid level, and then the entry level, which is normal as what we have in the system today. And then if you take a look as well, you can also see that from the employment type, the people that goes into the office to work tends to earn more than people that are on contract and full-time and freelancers. And then if you look very closely, you will see that the average salary for a freelancer and the part-time is almost the same thing. There is no significant difference. And then when we come down to the work setting, you can see that the people that goes into the office to work earns higher. So you will know that taking a role for a full-time, taking a role that is on site, that is in person, and taking a role for executive role level, your salary, you should be expecting an average salary that is high. So I decided to dive deep into this data set to be able to see the salaries that we have and based on the job posting. So I used a histogram plot for that, and I was able to see that most of the job posts that we have and the salaries are mostly from 50,000 to 260,000. That is where we have a lot of job posting. So there are more jobs. If you are in a haste, you want to get a job, and you are just so eager to get a job, I think maybe you should look into the salary of 50,000 to 260,000 as a salary. But if you are trying to get a job or you are not in a haste, then you should look at these other roles that have less job posting. So we have more job posting from the salary ranges of 50,000 to 260,000, but we'll have few job posting for a salary above 260,000. And then I was able to also dive deeper into the salary to be able to say what role, what job title earns more and which one doesn't really earn more. So you're looking at the visual here. I used the scatter plot for that, so you can see from the top and the least job title, I was able to see, okay, the average salary for compliance data analyst is the lowest. That's what we have here. Is below $5,000. That's 5,000 US dollars. And then the highest is analytics engineering manager, that earns more than 400,000 US dollars. So you can also use this to be able to see the job title that you would want to go for. So if you are going for this first 10 here, then you know that your salary should be between this range. It's not gonna be above 10,000 US dollars, but if you want salary that is above that and above 150,000 US dollars, then you should be looking at this job titles as well. So talking about the job titles, I wanted to now dive in deep to know how and to know more about these job titles. Like, I wanted to go in deeper, so I decided to diving deeper into the job title based on the work setting, the employment type, the experience level. So I was able to see that the analytics engineer, that I'm talking about the top 20. So looking at all this data set, you can see that almost all job posting for this role is for in person. You can see in person, we have in person. But for machine learning scientists, there is almost the same thing. based on the number of job posts for in-person role and for remote worker role. So it's almost the same thing. You can see from the visual here. So, and then if you look at based on job employment, the employment type, you will know that almost all the offers are for full-time. So companies are actually looking out for candidates who are willing to work for a full-time role. And also if you look at the experience level, you'll see that almost all are for senior level. We still have some for a mid-level and few of executive level. So it's more of the senior level role. Another visual on to see based on the country where the job post is. So I noticed that most of the job posting comes from United States, United Kingdom and Canada. And at the same time, I wanted to also see those jobs that come from these states. From the top 20 analysis that I did, most of the jobs that come are also for a senior level role. So moving on further, I said so we have another column that we have as job categories. So I wanted to see based on the job titles, the job categories that is being posted often. And from the job categories, I have data science and research as the most job in demand, and then we have data engineering, and then we have data analysis, we have machine learning and AI. So it goes down like this because this is just the total 10 job category that we have in our data set. So we can see that the highest in demand, which is the highest the highest job post we have in the data set, is data science and research. So moving on to the job title, I wanted to see, because I noticed that from my analysis on the data set, I noticed that we have a lot of job titles in our data set, a lot of job titles. I wanted to see which job titles was appearing the most, like the most posted job title. So I was seeing that we have data scientist, we have data engineering, we have data engineer, we have data analyst, we have machine learning. So if you're looking into going into the career field, you should target these roles and know that in every year the job post for this particular roles increases. So there is chances for you to get a job if you are in this field. So I decided to go more deeper into saying the sizes of the job posts. That is the quantity of this, the number of job posts, and the salary. This salary for that job post, and then I used a violin plot for that. So if you look at this violin chart here, the size of the violin shows me the number of posts that we have, for that particular job title, whereas the size of the length of the violin shows is able to tell me the salary for that particular job title. So over the years in our data set that we have 4 years, you can see that for data science, the highest salary here based on the job post is between 400 to 500,000. And then if you take a look at this one, decision scientist, is around 200 to 300,000. But if you look at the sizes, we can see that we have more job posts for BIP developer, we have more posts for data analyst and a machine learning engineer, data analyst. We also have more posts for machine learning scientists, data science consultants. We have business intelligence analysts. So the size of the violin tells us the job titles that we have more posts. That is to say that it's actually going to help you to identify the job in demand. So here we come with our key takeaway. After the whole analysis, like visualizing the data set, we are able to find out that from the experience demand, the highlight from our chart experience that the experience level in the job posting in our data set is more of senior level, and based on the salary, we've seen the ranges that is from the most of the job posts that we will see is from 50,000 and above to 260,000. And then we also saw the work setting, which many company prefer some prefer people to come into the office and work, so they prefer the in-person role. And then we can also see that most of all these roles are coming from USA, Canada, and UK. So the implication that I'm gonna see you taking from this analysis is that for job seekers, offer this particular analysis offer insights into the salary, experience, preference, and job location. And then for employers, it provides market trends to refine hiring strategies to industry standards. And then for both the job seekers and for the employers, I would say that it's gonna encourage active engagement with market insight to ensure strategies and decisions are effectively informed and aligned with industry trends. So my call to action is for job seekers to use what they've learned to find a better job and build up their skills so that they can move from entry level to senior level and to executive level, so they will be able to earn more higher salaries. And then for the employers, is for them to use this insight to be able to improve how they will hire and keep best people in the company to be able to generate more income for the company and growth for the company. So thank you very much. I've come to the end of this presentation. I still remain my humble self, Cynthia Udoye. I have my contacts here, I have my email address, and I have my GitHub link here. So if you want to see the Python code for this analysis, if you want to see the whole Python visual for this analysis, this is the GitHub link. So click on the GitHub link and then you will have the code and see everything you need to see for this data. Thank you very much for staying.